Hi guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk more about LKCO. After my very bullish prediction on LKCO on Monday, I guess a lot of people find it quite hard to believe why I'm so excited about this company and this investment. So today I wanted to show you more of my analysis based on observations and connecting the dots. First of all, let me explain a little bit more about the components of Luokung. They have a few core technology, and what I look at the most are the imago and the super engine. And it is the combination of the two that makes me super excited, super bullish on the possibilities that it can create in the future. First of all, I think they are the first one in the world to introduce this full vector non-slice HD map. In my previous video, I have explained in detail what is a vector map technology. So if you haven't checked that out, you should definitely check out the last video. I'll put the link here. So you will know that this is a breakthrough in the HD map based on the traditional method to increase the precision and decrease the size of the data, making it much more optimal. We know that more and more players would join the party to do this HD map for sure, because the market size is just so big in the future. The demand is so big, as I described previously, for all the things that's connected that needs this kind of HD map for basically anything autonomous, including EV, drones, robot, AR, etc. But here, Luokung's advantage are, first of all, foreign companies cannot scan the map inside China. And there are other players such as Baidu, but we know that right now Baidu is in the EV sector themselves. They are partnering up with Geely to make their own EV. So to supply to other EV players, they would have conflicts of interest. And it would be one of the main concerns for other EV companies to work with Baidu for their HD map. But let's put this aside for now, and I just want to show you how big this market will be. Here I capture the previous COO of Baidu saying that in the future there is a very high possibility that the HD map business in China will be bigger market size than the search engine business of Baidu. We know that Baidu is the Google of China. This was said 2-3 years ago. And we know search engine business is the biggest business of Baidu, especially before they shifted the focus to EV. And back then, Baidu's market cap was near 90 billion, with the core business focused on search engine. So if Baidu thinks that the HD map business in the future will be bigger than their search engine business, that means just the business for Imago of Luokung alone could be worth 90 billion in market cap. And here, based on the IDC research, we can see that in 2019, Imago, they are the number 4 player of HD map solution in China, being quite close with the number 3 player, which is a large map app in China that a lot of people use. And it's quite famous, Gaode Map. And Baidu being the first of 29%. And let's say that it will continue remaining just half of Baidu's market size. That is still 45 billion, right? And then we see this CEO and founder of Luokung Technology to be Xue Song. And he happened to be the previous director at Ideanomics. Some of you might know what's Ideanomics, some of you might not. Now, Ideanomics is another public company that's listed on NASDAQ, ticker symbol IDEX. They have recently acquired a wireless charger company, Wave. They are a global company driving mobile energy transformation and green fintech revolution, connecting AI, blockchain, and others as part of the next generation of smart financial services. Based on their business and their recent acquisition, I think you can't overlook this company. So sometimes it's not because you cannot dig too much information about somebody, it means that they have a simple background. They might have good connection in the circle, and this would be the thing that's almost impossible to find on the internet. But being in the circle of EV and having rich connection, it's definitely a big bonus for any business. For us to believe that Luokung is not a random startup or sketchy company that might be a shell or commit fraud later. And it would help them expand their sales and business faster into more applications, into more area, more field. And then also, there is the super engine part. This is where they have the patent already for their speed, the capacity and ability to collect the spatial and temporal data from the millions of sensors in all kinds of environments, indoor, outdoor, on the road, by second. So you must remember this picture I drew before from my previous video about Luokung. Everything connecting the autonomous drive, the EV, the drone, including the air taxi, the drone delivery, the new retail, the smart home, the Internet of Things, the wearable device, and the AR technology, everything connecting together, it would create a lot of information, a lot of data by every second. Everything is changing by second because of the millions of sensors on the road, on every environment, in every residential area, every home, every restaurant, every school. So much data transmitting to be processed because it's continuous, because it's every second. So it would be impossible for any human to process the massive amount of data in order to manage the environment. This is why, in the future, it would need the computer to process this spatial and temporal data, collecting all the data that happen in every corner of the environment by every second, and processing data while collecting data in order to make fast decisions to manage all the environment. Why can't humans do it anymore? I'll give you some example. Imagine in the future, there's a traffic light broken and the EV is stuck on the road. There's a drone flying and lost connection from the sensor and got pulled over on the road. The wearable device showed that there is someone that just had heart attack and need emergency care. Things would happen very fast by second. Everything is happening at the same time because of the million sensors sending all this data. So it's impossible for human to manage the environment. And this is why it would need the computer to process while collecting all these data in order to make fast decisions to manage the space. For example, in the future, when there is a traffic jam, the traffic lights can be automatically adjusted with the precision of seconds to ensure the road is smooth without traffic. Let's say you are on the drive and you want to order something, and the drone can follow you to track your information to know where to deliver it to. On the way of your drive, you feel bored of the route every day, so you want the AR technology to give you a different scene every day to make it much more interesting. And because everyone would have a wearable device, so in case of any medical emergency, no one even need to call the 911 to report that. No ambulance need to be sent. The EV and robot can send the person to the hospital, and all the autonomous vehicles and traffic lights will adjust accordingly to make sure this person can be sent to hospital at the fastest second. In the future, crime rates would be significantly lower because for anyone who commits a crime, it's very unlikely to be able to get away from it. because of the millions of sensors and the speed of processing data, the precision and speed of location track. Everything would be seamlessly connected. It would be a very smart environment that we will be living in the future. Very fluent, very convenient, and no more insecurity. So I believe this is what they would call a smart city in the future. It is a very smart ecosystem where the city will not be managed by humans, but processed and managed by computers. Everything would happen very fast, very convenient. If I'm not wrong, I think that is what the Chinese government actually have been planning and doing for quite a few years. And I assume they might be testing this model somewhere in one or a few cities in China right now, collecting as much as data as possible. And because of the massive population, it's easy to collect a large chunk of data to be able to keep refining it. And once they have this modular city ready to set up one model unit as one good example, they can then duplicate this smart city ecosystem and expand it to all the other cities in the whole China. So by then, things can happen super fast in the whole country. Information between each city would be very fluent, very easy, at the first second, right away, like computer communicating to computer. And once they have this widely used, I think they would expand it outside of China to other countries. Now you may think, how is that possible? It requires massive infrastructure built. All the platform, everything involved in this ecosystem needs massive infrastructure. A lot of projects, right? Well, that is why it would be driven by this project called the One Belt, One Road. Now, for those of you who don't know what's One Belt, One Road, the One Belt, One Road, in Chinese called 一带一路, is a global infrastructure development strategy adopted by the Chinese government in 2013 to invest in near 70 countries and international organizations. It is considered a centerpiece of the Chinese Communist Party, General Secretary and paramount leader Xi Jinping's foreign policy. So it is no wonder this One Belt, One Road is the most important project for the Chinese government for a few years. And it is no wonder it is targeted to complete in 2049, because it would really be massive infrastructure built in all of these countries, from China to Asia, to Africa, to Europe. If I'm right, this is super massive. It is very big ambition to connect so many countries, so much information by the smart city ecosystem. And in the future, globalization seems to be a whole different concept. And if this is true, then Luokung technology would really become more and more important in China. Now, these are all based on my own thinking, observation, and analysis. But if I am right, this would be really huge for a company like Luokung Technology, because they are basically providing the backbone to make the smart city happen with one of the core technology. This is why I was so excited when I saw this company, even though it was just a tiny company with one of the smallest market cap of $100 million, because I just know they align with the strategy of the country, and that's why they would become an important player in the future economy. And this is why I think they were beaten down for years, because it was too early and because of the political issue. So this is what I think. If I were the government, that's what I would do. That's the strategy I would play to be the world's leader of the area of this new technology, spread it to the world, increase the international influence. This is where I see Luokung Technology come into the picture to become one of the big supporters behind this. And then I also saw something recently. This is a summary of the milestones that Luokung had achieved in the year of 2020. And within the second quarter last year, it says from 2020 in June, Luokung's super engine had officially joined to be part of the committee of the One Belt One Road project to help with the preparation and to increase the global application of the HD location-based service to support the One Belt One Road and other international projects. So when I saw this, it just confirmed with what I believe of what the Chinese government wants to do and how would Luokung come into play. So it gave me more confidence and more belief in this company and my investment. So back to this, can you imagine how big of the massive potential with this? When these two, the Super Engine and the Imago combine, I believe it's much more powerful than the Palantir combined with Baidu. Now you should know why I have such a bullish target on Luokung and believe this company would have a great future, and it's so undervalued and so beaten down because of the political issue, because it's one of the 9 companies that's blacklisted by Trump's administration. But regardlessly, I still believe this company is playing a big role in the future in terms of how we live. It will be revolutionary and they will hold massive amount of data. I believe in the future, holding this is like holding gold and oil. This is why I hold a large chunk of this stock in my portfolio. It's grown into my #1 position because of how fast it jumped. And I am fully aware of the risk behind this investment and aware that this stock would be very volatile. This is exactly why I like to get into stocks before they run up. So our cost would be low enough to be not driven away by the emotion because of the volatility of the stock. So any wash sale cannot change how I think of this company because I believe in the future of it, so I won't be affected by the share price. Hold it for the whole roller coaster ride. Because I believe we have found a hidden gem early enough, maybe even before the Wall Street has realized the potential of it and before ARK Invest see the importance of it in the future. So I think there will be a much bigger upside potential in the future ahead of us. So I hope that gives you a more detailed explanation of why I'm super bullish on this company and on this investment, regardless of the huge political risk behind this. And before I end the video today, there is a quick note to add. Since I have opened my channel last month in January, a lot of you guys have requested to see me, and some even comment and question my credibility because I don't show myself. But I've always told myself that I would make video with myself in front of the camera when I hit 50,000 subscribers. And now I'm almost halfway there, okay? Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and leave me a great comment. And I will see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.